Hey gorgeous, welcome to the Hormone P.U.Z.Z.L.E Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Kayla Smith, CEO of the Hormone P.U.Z.Z.L Society, a woman's health hub for fertility, hormones, and the business of coaching, creator of the Hormone P.U.Z.Z.L method, an infertility warrior, two-time boy mom, and women's health expert. This podcast is for women struggling with infertility, painful periods, terrible PMS, or really any symptom of hormone imbalance that they are ready to eliminate for good. Tune in weekly because we will be interviewing amazing experts in the field of women's health, breaking down those hormone walls, nerding out on nutrition, and having way too much fun. Whether you're just beginning your fertility journey or you've been struggling for years, we are going to finally help you put those pieces of your hormone puzzle back together so that you can get pregnant and eliminate those pesky symptoms for good. Are you ready? Thank you so much for tuning in. Now let's get started on your road to transformation. Hey gorgeous, welcome back to the show. I am so excited to have you here. Each week, we're going to talk to some amazing experts and really dive into topics all around fertility. So you're not going to want to miss a single show. If you haven't already, take a minute and hit that subscribe button. That will ensure that you never miss a single episode. So we'll take 1 second. We can wait. Hit that button and make sure you're all set. Also, I would be forever grateful if you would leave us a review on iTunes. This will help more people find this show, and it will allow us to help even more women on their journeys with fertility and hormones. And this is how iTunes decide who is shown what. So this way you can do your part to help the infertility community, and it would make me so very excited. So thank you. I would be forever grateful if you would do that for me. Thanks, gorgeous. And now let's get on with the show. Monica Bivas went through a very difficult fertility roller coaster of emotions. From being there, she learned that perfection is imperfection and imperfection is beautiful. So she took this experience and squeezed the sweetness out of it. That sweetness is the absolute love and passion she has for what she does now, coaching and mentoring women and couples, no matter the sexual preference, all over the world, going through IVF and teaching them how to squeeze the sweetness out of this journey. Monica offers 3 different one-on-one programs on IVF depending on the path of the journey that they are on, as well as group programs, talks, and other fertility resources. To learn more and to meet Monica, go to monicabivas.com. Let's welcome Monica to the show. Hey Monica, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Kayla. I'm so happy to be one of your guests in your podcast. It's such an honor for me. Thank you so much, Mama.
You are so welcome. I'm so excited to talk to you as always. So tell me a little more about your story. Tell our listeners kind of who you are and how you got here.
Okay, so for the ones that don't know me, because like you said, we talked a few times and most of your audience know me. My name is Monica Bivas. I am an IVF, fertility coach and mentor. And well, actually what took me to where I am and to what I do is my own journey through fertility. I really don't like to use too much the word infertility. Right. Fertility journey is better, because I realized through the years and through the experience, through my own path, that, we are not defective. We just have little bumps in the way, and eventually we can, get over them. So I did 5 cycles of IVF because basically my both fallopian tubes are blocked due to endometriosis. So, but before that, all the tests, all the medical records were absolutely okay, And I will say I was one of these lucky women that they found the reason of why, I couldn't get pregnant. Because when they said like something that is, unknown case, unknown infertility. It seems like everything is okay and you're trying, and they have to go like through things like you that you need to just basically build everything and find out. It's a little bit more stressful. So because of that, we did laparoscopy, because they tried to see if they opened, but it didn't work. So my only option was IVF, in vitro fertilization. I didn't know too much about that. My husband didn't know too much about that. He had a daughter from a previous marriage. So, we knew that something was wrong with me. And as I mentioned to you before, I come from a very fertile family from my mom's side. There were 18 kids. Oh, everybody has kids. I have like 240 cousins. So I kind of took it granted. So it was worrying me when I didn't get pregnant that fast. But, they always tell you wait a little bit, over a year. So we did. And my first IVF cycle is now my 15-year-old daughter, Elia. Which also was very lucky because, most doctors will tell you, the first cycle is not successful most of the time. So you will need probably multiple cycles, which was like crazy for me. And we were very happy. But it's stressful, Now, my actual journey with the struggle start after my first cycle because, again, I said, I got pregnant. It's going to be easy the next one. We didn't know about frozen eggs or frozen embryos. The doctor was amazing. I always will say that, but he was so much into helping everyone that his team was not the best. So nobody explained us you could froze, you could, and then avoid again. So we did a second cycle with him, but it was canceled due to switch in the charts. They gave me the wrong, medicine. I got OHSS. All of that. So they canceled it, frustration. He was very responsible. He took responsibility. He said, I'm going to go through the third cycle, no charge, cover the medicine that I was used up to that point. I got pregnant. This unfortunately ended up in a stillbirth at 39 weeks of a baby girl.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And then, from all the emotional pain, all the stress, like the denial of, being prepared to have a baby and not having it, I didn't even wait enough time to heal physically and emotionally. So basically, I will say 2 months later, I jump into another IVF. I drill my husband's brain. We changed doctor. Our previous RE recommended another one. And he told me, I don't think you should do it. But, poor guys, I just drilled both of them. And I wanted, because, I wanted that hole to be filled. It's like, it's a very selfish thing if we see it, but we don't see it in that moment because we care very much about what we are feeling. I ended up pregnant, but again, emotionally I was a mess. Miscarriage at 7 weeks. My marriage, kind of crumbled a little bit, a lot actually. So we came to this point that we said, what, we need to work on our relationship because nobody wants to bring a kid in a messy relationship too.
Right.
And kind of forget about that, be grateful for what we have, work really hard on our issues as individuals. And we did that for about a year. And then 6 months later, we said, we're going to do a last cycle. And whatever happens, yes, no. And this is when I start to kind of work on mindset, on looking that there were coaches like you, when I started, no, there was no help.
No.
This really started probably 5 years ago. I felt so lonely and I said to myself, this is what I want to do. I want to start to help people. One thing, it was hard in this last cycle is when we found out we were pregnant. I had to go on blood thinners because my stillbirth was, I lost it because of a blood clot in the umbilical cord. And then when Maya, she's now 7, my 5th cycle, started to move, that was something that I couldn't handle. It was out of my control. I learned so exactly to count the movements that I didn't let her sleep. So if she will not move, I will just take Coca-Cola or orange juice or chocolate to make her jump because, I will start to go crazy.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that I will say was kind of out of my mindset purpose of being calm.
Yeah.
But all of this took me where I am. And then, after she born, maybe 2 years later, I started to really build my thing, my coaching. I wrote my book, The IVF Planner. I was not certified, but now, as you know, I'm taking your course. I'm going to be certified. I did another course with Michelle. So I feel like complete. I'm very happy of what I do. I love it.
Oh, I love that. And then you end up getting pregnant naturally too, right? After all of this?
No, I can't.
Oh.
I can't. I tell you something. I am kind of happy that I can't. Like I told you before, I'm going to be 48. And I'm grateful. I said to God, okay, so you sent me already with the birth control things. And I have seen cases of women 47, 48, 49 getting pregnant. Honestly, if that happens, Kayla, listen, there is no other way. Right. But I think too, the baby is going to be 10, I'm going to be 58. So if a miracle happens, it's because, it's up to him. But I know that a lot of women, even after struggles of multiple cycles, they get pregnant naturally.
Yeah. And for some reason I had thought you had told me that, but maybe I'm confused.
Don't worry, it's okay. Listen, you have so many people talking to you with their journey. You yourself almost went through IVF and you end up pregnant naturally. So trust me, it's not impossible.
Yes. So talk to us a little more about IVF. So what can somebody do if they are thinking about IVF to kind of get their body ready and to make sure that they have the best chances possible that IVF cycle is going to work?
Yes, exactly. So one of the first things that I always do with someone that wants to get coaching from me is I always ask Ella why they are doing IVF. And that's a very important question because, as you know, IVF not only brings the stress of all the roller coaster of if it's going to work, the injections, our hormones, by nature, we are hormonal, and then we receive more. So it's a lot of emotional and mental stress, but also financially. So I always ask before jumping into this, I want to know why you do it. So, we look at the diagnosis, something, medical diagnosis. So if it's something like you telling me, we are trying for a year and it's unknown infertility, then I will right away tell them, listen, I will suggest you to do some kind of changes. So we look into diet, lifestyle, what they use, exercise routine, because when there is unknown means everything is okay. You are a clear example of that.
Yes, definitely.
Here, testimonial, it's you. So I will suggest to check, okay, let's look into your diet now. What are you eating? I'm not going to tell you, okay, become vegan because I am, or cut on this and that, but we can build like an action plan for 3 months on change some habits that maybe are not helping you in this part and see during that 3-month process what is going to happen. You, again, a lot, and I will say most of couples or women that are diagnosed with unexplained infertility, when they do changes in this kind of lifestyle, exercise routine, diet, household products, all of that, they end up getting pregnant naturally.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I see it all day long, and it's so crazy too because sometimes it's something as simple as taking gluten out of your diet or cutting back on your exercise routine. I mean, it can be that simple, especially if you have unexplained, because like you said, that's saying you're completely healthy. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to get pregnant. So let's try to figure that out.
Exactly. And this is what you did. And that's one of the things when I look at your book, the one that I have, it's in simplest things like food, like you said, and we can be aware of that. Little things like, for example, I know if I take a fruit like peach before eating breakfast, like breakfast, it's a little acidic, so my stomach get a little bloated. We never look into that until something happened. You start to look all the things that you did. So that's the first thing. Now, if it's something that after we see the medical diagnosis and all of that, is something that definitely, is the only option or the option that is going to give you the possibility of become a parent in a better way than trying to conceive naturally. So then we go from there. Also, I always suggest let's check on lifestyle, no matter what, Unexplained, we find this way, and IVF too. Why? Because we need to prepare our body. So if we are going to enter into IVF and let's see, the partner and the women are both overweight, so we need to start to find a routine, to do some light exercise to start to lose a little bit, to see what kind of food you are eating that is maybe taking you to there, and build also like a challenge. I always tell them, don't jump right away. Take that 3-month time of changing, preparing your body. Also emotionally, so, we start to suggest acupuncture, meditation, some yoga, soft yoga and all of that, because this is kind of the beginning of preparing also your mindset, because we know we are going into a crazy, crazy thing. Is very overwhelming. That's, the word. And then from there, we are preparing our body. And then, I have like a few approaches from my coaching, because then once you start IVF, you have the process of the beginning, starting, then the retrieval, all the medicine, the blood test, measuring of your eggs, then the retrieval, then after the retrieval, and when they put the sperm and the women egg to make embryos, sometimes it could be the end, because they retrieve, the embryos start to develop and suddenly they stop. So that is like a counseling cycle. Now, if there is not stop, but you have either from one to multiple embryos, then we go to the process of the transfer. And the transfer, for me, the 2-week wait after the transfer.
Oh, it's the worst.
It is the worst. It's the worst. And it's just like you don't know what to do. It's like, should I test? Should I don't test? You have so millions of questions. So that is a very crucial time. And I will say it's even one of the most overwhelming from the IVF. However, even though after you get your beta, either if it's negative, it's like a grief part, so you need an approach that is going to help you to grieve, is going to help you to see, what I'm going to do if you want to go over another cycle. What are the steps? But then is the positive test. And I tell you that it's even worse than the 2-week wait, because then you are, okay, I got positive, but you know how many IVF cycles really end up in a live baby in the arms? Only 25%.
Yeah, it's pretty low. Yes. Yeah, it's so sad. And I always tell people that, look at that whenever you're picking a clinic. Like, don't just look at the results, because that means pregnancy, not live birth. Look at and ask them, how many live births have you had?
Yes, that is a very important number to look into it, because pregnancies, they can be, hundreds. But what happened in the first trimester? You have maybe, like me, a miscarriage at 7 weeks. And most of the times after a positive, when there is a miscarriage in the early first 12 weeks, what happened is that is because of chromosomical issues. Mm-hmm. So a lot of clinics offer the PGT testing, that in general, I always kind of recommend it. But again, it's an extra cost, unless that now, some states here in the States are covering up to 2 cycles. Depends also where you work. I know that for school teachers, for public schools, for example, here in New York, they have up to 3 cycles covered. Wow. That the first 2 have PGT testing. And I think it's something that through the years we need to kind of be, be aware and try to find a way that the insurance cover that, because it's a problem that is happening a lot.
Yeah. Definitely.
So that's the support I will say. And then, through the process, I see if it's a negative, you have an approach. If it's a positive, then from here, how we can work out and see what we can do to, to kind of help ourselves also to make it happen. Again, one thing I always tell anyone going through IVF is, no matter what the result is, never have guilt, because it's not our fault. Again, if you have a positive and then you miscarriage at a certain time, especially first weeks, it's chromosomical issue. So next time you know that maybe you need to do PGT testing, something like that. But it's not an easy road.
No, definitely not. Hey y'all, it's Coach Kayla here. I hope you are loving this episode as much as I am. We will be back in just a minute, but first, a word from our sponsors. Hey love, I am so excited about our latest project at the Hormone P.U.Z.Z.L.E Society. the Hormone Puzzle Membership Club. This membership club aims to empower and educate all the women struggling with infertility, and it teaches you how you can get pregnant and balance your hormones using a step-by-step process of the hormone puzzle method and cycle syncing. It's also a community where you can get real-time support for all your important questions on infertility, hormones, holistic living, and connect with your infertility and cycle sisters and have synthetic ears for letting out all your frustrations. You're not alone on this journey. We have your back. So head on over to CoachKayla.com/membership to join today. Thanks, guys. So let's talk about food a little bit. I love talking about food on this podcast. So what are some of your kind of top foods for boosting fertility? Whether they're doing IVF or just natural.
Just naturally, yes. I always recommend the main fruits, pineapple is well known. If you find like a sweet one, it's so delicious. It helps you also. It's very diuretic. And remember, a lot of people that can retain liquid also can affect their fertility. So it's diuretic, it's fertile. Salmon, good fats, omega. I am vegan. Well, I am vegan, but salmon is a good, healthy animal product that I always recommend. And they also recommend it for pregnancies. Even though I am vegan, I know that bone, the bone soup is
bone broth.
Yes, bone broth is like I hear it. I see it in your book.
It's so
I hear
good.
it from you. It's delicious. I miss that sometimes. Plus, also, other doctors, even Dr. Mark Clark, that he's fertility, he is one of the things he recommends IMERA up to, because for some reason, by having our uterus warm, it's a good key. It's a key to keep the embryo also kind of holding in there.
Yeah.
It is so important. So peaches too. Oh, peaches are well known for fertility. I don't know and I used to love to eat peaches. In general, vegetables, some of the vegetables, I would say that broccoli and cauliflower are very rich in natural protein. And when we are in our road to pregnancy or during pregnancy, it can help. However, a lot of us are very, gassy. And these two, vegetables can also create a little bit of inflammation. So we need to, kind of see the foods that we can eat. For example, foods that are gluten-free too. There is today so many delicious foods that they are gluten-free. I was kind of cutting on bread because white bread is not the best. So then in that time I found in my last cycle this Ezekiel bread.
Yes, love it. It's so good.
It's so good. And it, doesn't have anything of the other breads, and it has all the seeds. And basically that salads, a lot of salads, but always looking into what your body, receive. Like I tell you, you feel that something is not right. So that food maybe, or the combination of foods, believe it or not, broccoli itself, if you eat it itself, or cauliflower is better. It doesn't give you too much gas than when you mix it with other salads or with other fruit. Yes, I didn't know that. I didn't know that until I'm like, then when you eat it, like itself. So if you are too hungry, eat a big plate of that. My kids love that. So, and it doesn't give too much gas. Yes. Well, listen, you are the expert also with food. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm cooking some of the recipes that you have in the book for just the day by day.
Oh, I love it. Yes. Oh, those are some delicious recipes.
Kayla, I don't know how long it took you to really do that.
Yeah.
It's a big work what you did. It's insane. The course that I'm taking from you is wow.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
It was a lot.
So eager. It is a lot, and I never even thought that this is so necessary. It's, I can now use it and apply it for my own coaching. Is incredible.
Oh, well, thanks. I'm so glad you're enjoying it.
But that's the honest truth. Trust me, if it will not be good, I will tell you too, but it's excellent.
Oh, I love it. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about IVF clinics and how would somebody choose the right clinic and how important is that?
So first of all, I'm going to go back of what you just mentioned. No? You know, one of the important things to look into it is the rate of live pregnancies. Definitely. It's a big plus. If you, for example, I have very good reviews from CNY, from Dr. Kiltz, I think. They have, first of all, they are affordable because that's another thing that you need to look. If, for example, your insurance cover, make sure that the clinic also receive the insurance, that they can help also financially. Like if you know, they have sometimes set prices for packages, but also you can apply like for tuition in school, you know, so you can apply for some kind of reduced price. The team is very important, Kela. You know, you need to also check that your RE or the RE team and the nurses are kind. Because you are entering into something that emotionally is going to affect you a lot. And if you have someone that is not sensitive or is going to come with answers like, I don't know, let's see, 2-week wait and you have a positive test. And it happens to me. That's why I take it as an example. I start to bleed in my last cycle because Maya was a twin. So one of the sacs was kind of losing, and that's why I started to bleed. So we went, I was traumatized, I was crying. So they did the sonogram, and then we saw the 2 sacs. One of them has the heartbeat.
Oh my goodness.
And then the other one was kind of that. My doctor was amazing, but he was not there. So there was this new nurse. And when we saw the heartbeat, we were like, oh, and she said, yes, but it's, you know, you see it's a twin. And she explained us, and okay, we understand. And said, but okay, we have a heartbeat. And then she's like, yes, but don't, you know, like, don't keep too much hope because that other one can like take it out.
Oh my gosh. You're and like, what?
Yes, he was like, what?
Yeah.
Like that, what? He just right away told her, are you kidding me? This is, so we need to see.
Yeah.
Because people that work in this kind of field, especially fertility, they must have sensitivity. They need to be nice. I'm not telling you they need to sit and cry with you or emotionally listen to you. That's why we are here and we have coaches. A lot of clinics also are now working hand in hand with coaches like us.
Yes.
You know, I am partnered with Fertility International, which is a clinic in Barcelona.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And I, you know, I am part of that. They have nutritionists, all, you know, like they have acupuncturists, and it's all online. We have like the consultations and all of that online. Yeah. And when you have that kind of package, it's something that you need to say, okay, let me see. Pregnancies, life, exit, you know, check, do a checklist. And if from the checklist is 10 and you have 9, okay, so you know, you can play with that. But that's definitely important thing because that also help us to reach to a point that our outcome can be positive too.
I love it. Amazing. Talk to me a little more about your book. You have an awesome book called the IVF Planner. If you have one, hold it up for our YouTube audience.
Yes, a second, I think I have one. Yes, look, I have it here. You put this in YouTube too, no?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. So this is the IVF.
I love it.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So why I did this book? Because that's one of the other things that stress out in vitro is all the records. You know, we get calls every day to, you know, they give us our numbers for the blood test, and not only that, they give us the numbers of the medicine that we need to put, you know, according to how our blood test it is, how our eggs are growing. And that was a nightmare. I used to have everything in papers, and eventually the little papers lost. And then after the 2-week wait, you have the beta test, and then they call you every 2 days because your beta test needs to triplicate or whatever, so you need the numbers. So I said to myself, you know what? It's a mess. someone needs to have a book, and I created it. But not only that, the book, the content is not too much. Of course, it talks about my story. I basically gives the basic of the treatment, but it's more charts, So for example, there is question charts that you will have, because we all will have during IVF questions to our doctor. And never think that a question is silly or simple, because you are not a doctor. We are not the doctor. So whatever comes to our mind that we have doubt, we should ask. Also, for the 2-week wait, I create that chapter with coloring mandalas, because I know that like we said, it's a very crucial time, very overwhelming. And one of the things that we need to try to help ourselves is to do something that can shift our mind to a little more positive way, because that 2-week wait, we are full of fear. What if it's not, working? What if I don't get pregnant? So I have that. I have a glossary, because, there is terms that BFN. Oh, what is that? BFP, PCOS, like all of that. So I have a glossary. I have also part for the taxes here in the States and what to do if you live in another country. And it's actually not a long book. I have for multiple cycles too, in case that is negative, enter into another one, positive, what to do. I wish I could do it like, in a binder style, but it's a little bit more work. So if it's not enough, what you can do is take some copies and then open a binder extra when you have multiple cycles. But I love it.
Yes, I love it too. It's beautiful. And I think I heard you're working on a coloring book. Is that right?
Well, hopefully it's a series of 4 fertility coloring books. The first one is almost done. I have a wonderful illustrator, because I am not, the best designer or something. But hopefully I'm going to launch it for the 15th birthday of Elia, my first IVF.
Oh, I love it.
Yes. And then it's going to be another 3. It's a series, like coloring for the mind, coloring emotionally, coloring, and working on that. Yes.
I love it. I can't wait to see it. And I know coloring is such a wonderful thing to tap into that creative side, to tap into that, that femininity, and just allow yourself to relax during that 2-week wait. So what are some other things that we can do during the 2-week wait to help us?
Well, definitely, I will say that any kind of art therapy, coloring is very important, because, coloring, as you said, when we color and when we see our finished piece, the colors says a lot about the mood and the emotion that we are in. So if you realize that you color like dark, like grays, black, that's your mood in the moment. If you are like bright colors, then you are a little happy. Art therapy could be knitting. A lot of people knitting. I wish that I would have learned knitting, but it was always so difficult for me, because it's really a therapy. Doing bracelets, reading like self-help and positive books. It can, because all of that goes to your subconscious. Watching, movies. If it's, for example, because today in vitro can be done as a solo mom. I have seen a lot of women going solo with just a sperm donor. So, if you are alone, reading, knitting, coloring. But if you have a partner, so I will say that also take a little bit of time for yourselves, like have a little date night. No alcohol if you are in the 2-week wait, or if you are even in the IVF complete, but try to communicate, because this also can bring a lot of stress in the relationship. And then if we use it the opposite way, it's also going to bring a lot of good thing, and that part of that stress can goes away if we have someone to communicate. Watch movies. Try to the best to occupy the mind in things, and your time in things that can help you to get away from the what if, because the what if is never gonna go away.
Right.
But when we distract that, a little bit, the mind is kind of, and the last thing, focus on what you have around. Remember, I always tell people, before we have the baby, we have a life too. Before even we thought that we want to be parents, we went to party, we were teenagers. So go back to moments in your life that you had a happy moment, and bring it back, because it can cheer you up a little bit, take a smile out of you, because we are very blind. We focus only on baby, 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 and we forget that the world exists.
I love that. And I find that chocolate is a very good substitute for wine when you're not supposed to be drinking. So go on a date with your husband and go have some chocolate.
Oh, that's so nice. You know what? It's funny because I never have like cravings for sweets.
Yeah.
My daughter tell me, and you know, my husband like, you are so weird. Everybody craves for sweet. You are the only one that craves for salty. I need peanuts, you know, salty peanuts or chips or something like that. I forgot to mention one recommendation, Kella, and it's a recommendation that I do because also kind of stresses out is for the 2-week wait. Please try not to test home. Why? Because it could be a false positive. I have seen cases that women, they test home, they come the 2 lines, and then go to the beta test and it's negative, or the opposite. And what you're going to do with that is create more stress. I know it's super hard. We are always especially after 5-6 days post-transfer, we are like, I want. We cannot wait the 14 days. That's my suggestion. However, if your gut, if your inner yourself, it's telling you so and you cannot control it, so do it. But always be aware that the best to do and the most accurate is your beta test.
And I've seen it go the other way too. I've seen it be negative when it's really positive. And so then you're like all upset and stressed out, you're grieving, and you're really pregnant. That happened to me. I didn't test, but I actually started my period, sat on my back patio and cried because I was like, another month, I'm not pregnant, I don't understand. And I was actually pregnant with my second. Yeah. So
you know
make sure you go to the doctor and get that test.
Yes, you are right. And you know, that bleeding could be implantation.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yep.
It's that. And I wanted to remind women and couples that are going through IVF, most IVF women, we bleed because of implantation. It could be that the period is coming, or it could be, and even women that get pregnant like you naturally bleed. And you get crazy. It's so true what you just said. Go test, come negative. Oh my gosh. And then you're gonna wait. And then the beta test comes. And what you do is putting such a pressure and negative feelings on yourself. And that can eventually end up in a miscarriage too, because you are so like drained from the energy that, oh my gosh. So that's why I don't recommend that. I really recommend go take your blood test. That's the most accurate and it's going to tell you.
Yes, I agree. Well, Monica, it's always so fun to talk to you. Tell our listeners where they can find you.
Well, they can find me in Instagram at Monica Bivas. I have a website, www.monicabivas.com. I have my Facebook group too, the IVF Journey, and my Facebook page is Monica Bivas IVF Coach. And you know, they can email me too. Usually I answer my DM in Instagram too. I like to, you know, respond myself. And, Instagram is the one that I use the most. Of course, Facebook too, because I have my book, my group there. I do some lives. I have guests like you in the past, but that's basically where you can find me.
Oh, I love it. All the places. Wonderful.
Yes. I have this YouTube channel that I launched a little bit ago, but, working on that too.
Yes. Awesome. So any final thoughts before we close out today?
Well, yes, try always, no matter where you are in your fertility journey, because could be naturally trying to conceive or through ART. Always be aware that before you were where you are, you had happy moments, you have aha moments. Why? Because this is what is going to help you to go and move forward. Don't get stuck, Pain exists. I always say that pain exists in any manners. Pain if you lose someone, pain because it's a stressful process, pain for whatever. But suffering is a choice. So always choose something that can cheer you up. I'm not saying that it's going to happen all the life, a loss of a child. I've been there, a loss of a baby. But somehow we, especially women, we are so strong and we can overcome like almost anything. So always look forward and no matter the obstacles, try to be aware of them, look at them, they are there, feel them and move on.
I love it.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
and I just love you so much. Thank you so
I love
much.
you very much.
Thank you for being here. It's always a pleasure.
No, thank you, Kela, for having me. And, I hope that I can be with you in much more shows and collaborations. I love you too very much.
Yes. Oh, all right. Well, thank you guys for listening. And until next time, bye for now. Hey, hang on just 1 second before you go. I want to make sure that you are aware of all of the amazing free resources that I have for you on my website at CoachKayla.com. From a fertility meal plan, a cycle syncing quick start guide, a holistic healing cookbook, as well as master classes, blog posts by me and some amazing experts in the fields of fertility, hormones, and nutrition. So many wonderful resources that will help you on your journey. And I wish there had been something like this when I was going through my 2 years of infertility, but there just wasn't. And so that's why I decided to create all of this for you. So make sure that you go and check it out and you take advantage of this plethora of support that I have provided for you. And spoiler alerts, these were some of the same tricks and the same foods that I used to get myself pregnant, not once, but twice, even after my doctors said that I couldn't. So I know that these things work. Make sure you take advantage of that. And I cannot wait for you to be my next success story. So thanks, love. See you soon. Thanks for tuning in today to the Hormone Puzzle Podcast. Check out the show notes for today's episode at CoachKayla.com. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and leave a review. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next week.